Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're getting into iThonga, family secrets and business battles. And wow, these sources, they really show how everyday conflicts can just explode into these really contentious
Oh,
situations.
absolutely. What's so interesting is seeing how these different moments, really nasty family argument, a pretty bad car crash, this whole thing about who's leading the company, they seem separate, right?
Yeah.
But they all kind of come together
Yeah,
and they show us different sides of conflict, how people see things differently, and, well, accusations. These are definitely those controversial situations that make you lean in.
exactly. And that's what we want to do in this deep dive. It's not just about saying what happened, but trying to pull out what these dramas really tell us about people relationships, especially when things get intense.
Right.
Our mission here is to find those key nuggets of insight from these stories, give you a shortcut, maybe, to understanding why things get so divisive sometimes.
Makes sense.
So let's jump right into the first one from iThonga. It's pretty raw.
Yeah.
The family break down these false accusations, specifically with Inkosanathi and Letho Kule.
hmm
The setup is just stark. Inkusanathi's brother accuses Lesakuli, his brother's wife, of trying to kiss him falsely.
Yeah, and Lathakula's reaction in scene 2 is pure shock, isn't it?
Yeah.
Goodness. Gosh. He even lied about you trying to kiss him and sleep with him. You could almost hear her saying it.
Totally.
Why would I look at your brother that way
Mm.
when I have my own husband? It just hits you, the sheer disbelief and hurt.
It really does. And what's kind of scary is how fast that one accusation spirals. It's not just a lie between them. In scene 6, it blows up into this huge family fight. Inkusanathi and Letha are literally packing their bags to leave.
Right.
And Inkusanathi, he unleashes all this built-up pain on his father, Themba, about favoritism. He says, anything Letho says, you swear God himself is saying it. And that hurts me, Mgopadeli. It's powerful stuff.
It really is. And what that shows, I think, is just how fragile trust is in a family, especially when someone feels attacked like that, unfairly accused.
Yeah.
The key thing here, maybe, is that these accusations, they don't just pop up out of nowhere. They often land on old cracks, old wounds.
Yeah.
Especially if there's already this feeling of being treated unfairly or like one person's always favored.
Like fuel on the fire.
Exactly. It's the history, the underlying dynamic that really makes it explode into a crisis, not just the accusation itself.
Okay, so that's the personal, the family side. But then we see ambition and gender roles and even like older beliefs causing friction in the business world too. Let's switch over to Makumalo.
Ah, yes, Makumalo's expansion plans with Nintanzi. Mogini seemed worried from the start, didn't he?
He did, but then you get this really wild layer in scene 1. Mahaffey is convinced Nantanzi practices witchcraft.
Yeah, she fully believes he's bewitched Makumalo to get this deal going. She even says he tried it on her.
That line, I felt my body go as cold as a dog's nose. I'm sure I was talking to a snake. It's chilling.
It is. And Mbongeti just brushes it off, completely dismisses her fear. So you have this clash of worldviews right there.
Huge contrast. Then, later, scene 3, there's this men's meeting, and Pablo stands up, praises Makumalo publicly, calls her a history maker for leading Magwaza construction as a woman.
Sounds great, right? A moment of triumph.
You'd think so. But almost immediately after, in scene 4, we see Makumalo confronting Mbangeni. She is furious
Wow.
because she feels he tried to, shield her or protect her from the other men, including Ntanzi, during that meeting. And it came across as patronizing.
Okay.
Her words are just so sharp. By humiliating me, Mbangeni. I've worked hard for everything I have, Mbangeni. I've never needed anyone's kindness. I'm not a child. Ooh.
Wow. Yeah. That really highlights something, doesn't it? How for women in leadership, sometimes what someone thinks is protection actually feels like it's undermining them.
Exactly. Cuts right through their autonomy, their hard work. That external praise from Pablo almost meant nothing because of that internal dynamic with Mbangi. Even if his intentions were maybe good from his point of view.
Perhaps. But it shows the real complexities women can face.
Yeah.
Balancing that public recognition with maybe more traditional expectations from family
Right.
or a spouse, it really shows how the same action can be seen in completely opposite ways.
Leading straight into conflict. Okay, so sometimes these contentious moments build up over time through history or business deals, but sometimes they just erupt instantly.
Right. Like the driving lesson.
Yeah, Ayanda and Lungelo in scene 5, it starts simply enough. Ayanda needs lessons. Lungelo's like, okay, fine, one last lesson. Reluctantly.
And then you see it building. Ayanda's excited, maybe a bit too excited, gets distracted by the music.
And Lungelo, the instructor, he gets distracted too by a call from his dad.
It's just a perfect storm brewing in that car.
And boom, it happens. She loses control, they swerve, crash right into an electrical box, sparks everywhere. It sounds terrifying.
Totally. And the immediate reaction from Lungelo is pure panic. Ayanda, my dad is going to kill me.
Yeah.
His first thought.
Not about her or the crash itself, but his dad.
Right. And then, almost in the same breath, it flips. Straight to blaming her.
Yeah, that shift is fast.
Ayanda, leave me alone. I told you to stop the car and you refused. Which, we don't know if that's true, right?
Right.
Then he lays into her, do you see how stupid you are? Have you ever seen anyone singing and driving at the same time? It's brutal.
And maybe a bit hypocritical given he was distracted too.
Exactly. And I think the big takeaway there is about accountability. Or the lack of it, maybe. Under pressure, when the stakes are high and the consequences look bad, that human instinct can be to point the finger. Fast.
Yeah, protect yourself first.
Protect yourself first. Shift the blame, even if you were part of the problem. It's just a really stark example of how a small mistake, a moment of distraction, can instantly become this huge, controversial mess with serious fallout.
So when we look at all these situations together, what's the common thread? What does it all mean for us? We've seen deep family betrayals, clashes over business and status, sudden crises.
Well, I think what iThonga shows us so powerfully is just how messy and tangled up human conflicts get. They're never usually about just one thing, are they?
No, definitely not.
In a bigger sense, maybe, these stories show that controversy, or these really contentious situations, they're often not just about the bare facts of what happened. It's about all the layers underneath.
Wow.
Misunderstandings, things left unsaid, expectations people have, and those deep-seated beliefs people carry, whether it's believing someone's always favored.
Or believing in witchcraft?
Exactly. Or even just not trusting someone's judgment in a crisis, like in the car. It's all those underlying things that fuel the fire.
So digging into these situations, even though they're, fictional dramas, it helps us maybe see similar threads in our own lives or at least understand them better.
I think so. And it leaves you, the listener, with a really interesting question, doesn't it? How do you handle situations where maybe someone means well, but it causes conflict anyway?
Or when someone's deeply held belief just clashes head-on with what seems like logic?
Yeah. What really jumps out at you when you think about how these characters dealt with their own controversial moments? Did they handle it well?
Yeah.
Badly? It's definitely something to chew on.